Hello, good morning, welcome back. So I'm going to be vending at a market in like 2 weeks and I still have to prep a lot. So today I just wanted to show you how I make this upcycling balaclava hood, and it's really a pretty easy project. We're just gonna upcycle these super ugly sweatpants and make them into a very cute little hood for this super icy, frosty weather we got going on. And yeah, let's just go.
How should I work like this, huh? How should I work like this? Yeah. Thank you.
First we're gonna cut up the middle seam on the front and on the back, but don't cut too close to the waistband, otherwise it'll be harder to sew later. Then we're gonna cut both inside seams and then cutting the leg, but just on the front side. Then I'm folding it so that the tie strings are looking towards me, and then cutting the shape for the head. On my pants, they unfortunately sewed the elastic and the string permanently onto the back, so I have to cut it open to get it out. But it's not that bad, it doesn't really add too much work. If your pants have some elastic as well, you probably have to do that too, because it might not be really comfortable for wearing otherwise. I'm not gonna use mine in this project again, but I'll obviously save them for a different project in the future. I also have to cover this super ugly logo, which you might not have to do if your sweats don't have a design or a logo on them. I decided to make a little template so it's easier to make a patch for that specific shape. And as always, I chose a wonky star shape as a patch. And I drew it on the back of the fabric so you wouldn't see the pen marks on the front after cutting. Then cutting out my patch, flipping it, and then I'm gonna pin it over the ugly original design. In this case, since the fabric is super stretchy, I'm gonna put some paper towels under it before pinning, because it'll help to not stretch the patch while sewing it on, and it will get a super clean look. I'm sewing it on with just a straight stitch, and I'm actually going over it twice just because I like to make it as secure as possible. Then I have to sew the hole that we made at the beginning back together, and since the string needs to be able to go through the whole waistband again, I cannot just sew over it. I have to close the inside seam first and then continuing on the outside so I won't sew the hole shut. Now we have the inside pretty and ready, we can move on to the outside. For that part I'm gonna use my serger, but if you don't have a serger, just use a zigzag stitch or something similar on your regular sewing machine. And now I'm just sewing the outside curve. Once we've got that, it's time for the neck part already. I'm using the leftovers from the leg to make a little double layered loop scarf thing. They are folded along the seam, and I'm cutting about 10 to 20 centimeter wide strips, which I have to combine together here because there was not enough fabric to just use one of these. Sewing them together with the inside out so we get a pretty and comfy seam on the outside. Then I'm gonna measure how big I want my neck loop to be, cut it to size, and repeat the same step we just sewed on the seams that are still open. folding it back with the pretty sides out, and now we've got a perfectly comfy neck loop. Trimming it so everything is straight again, and then I'm finally pinning it onto the hood itself. I'm gonna sew it with the seams showing on the outside again. I'm just flipping it into the hood so that it's easier for sewing. Now I can sew it together. This is optional, but I'm also adding a loop to later be able to hang something onto it as well. I also secured some more seams because I'm paranoid that one seam isn't enough and everything will fall apart. Yeah. So basically it's done. I just need to like burn down the threads and stuff, make them pretty, and I'm also gonna add like a shoelace or the original band that was on the pants, and then we're basically done. I think they turned out really nice. I like them a lot. Let me know what you guys think, and if you're also gonna consider making one for yourself. I think it's a very easy project overall, and also after finishing the one that I filmed, I did another one and I was stopping the time. It took me about like 47 minutes, and I think that's pretty reasonable for a more easy kind of upcycle. There's so many birds. Also, what I really think is amazing is that there are pockets. I don't know if you can use them, if you need them or whatever, but they're here. Yeah. There's such a cute bird. Oh my god. You can also wear it like this. And I think it's nice that you can adjust that. Yeah, there's a lot of options to wear these, to style these. You can make them in any color you like, basically. It just depends on the sweatpants that you're using. I think they're really cute. I also really like that the sewing hem is showing on the outside, but you can also hide it on the inside and make it look a little bit more clean. There's a pocket as well. And there's a pocket, and there's a pocket. But yeah, I also added some little lighter sleeves or lip balm sleeves where you can put in your lip balms or lighters or candy, whatever you like. Also, if you are in Vienna, all of these 3 balaclavas will be available at the Anti-Siren Festival on the 6th and 7th of February. I will be attending the market, I will be selling my stuff there, and these 3 will be available as well. So if you want one of these, that's your chance. So mark the date. And yeah, I think that's everything I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video and the last bits of winter that we have here. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Good morning. Oops. Whoop.